We have it fixed up like what? Maybe a dorm room or a boarding house room would look like.
This is the girls' floor, you said?
Yeah, this is the girls' floor. There's some graduates.
Yeah.
But this room, we have fixed up like what maybe a room would look like. With a bed and a table, they would not have pictures on the wall. But one of these, I'm not sure which one, I think it's that one, is an original piece of artwork done here by a student at the school.
Wow.
And in 1841, there was a student here by the name of Catherine Blake, and she was staying at the Fletcher, so it was about 3/4 of a mile down that way. And she wanted to stay here. So she got here in the middle of 1841, and she roomed with a girl by the name of Martha Chadwick. We know that because we have that roster, thank goodness. Catherine and Martha wanted to be here forever, so they are.
In their name.
In the window.
Wow. They etched it in the
Right
window.
on the glass.
Oh, wow.
This is Martha Chadwick and Catherine Blake. And this was their room, according to the roster. So,
Wow, how big twine.
pardon me?
Yeah, twine and
Catherine Blake went on to further school training. Martha Chadwick graduated from the school and went and got married. She got married. And I think she went back to Westfield, Vermont, right up there, close to the Canadian border. Yep. And this is a real cannonball. Solid piece of iron, about 11 pounds maybe.
Wow.
Belonged to John Stearns, who lived in the second room upstairs. This is a true story. He took it when he was going to be at any stayed places any length of time. Well, there were times in the middle of the room, boys' floor, girls' floor. The girls heard this horrible rumbling from the heavens. And some of them got scared, some of them got angry. One girl went across the street. We do know it was after dark because she said so, but she didn't say what time. They didn't have a watch. But so she got Mr. Twilight. He came over in his dressing gown and sat in that window seat out in the hallway, and he listened. And he finally hears it. So he marches down the hallway, trudges up the stairs, and there's nobody in that hallway. So he had a little lantern with it. She wrote that. He had a little lantern. And so he decided he was going to go from room to room, check the rooms out. So he peeks in, and he goes, well, don't see anything on the table or whatever, he said. So he decided to pull blankets back. So he pulled the blankets back in room 1. Nothing. Gets to the second room. John Stearns' room's there with his cousin and this other boy. Don't know who it was. Pulled their covers back, and this cannonball was laying between them. And yes, they had been rolling it.
Oh, my goodness.
The length of that floor upstairs, and to frighten the girls. And there was a third boy involved, and he was involved so that the ball wouldn't go down the stairs.
Oh.
Yeah. So the next term, John Stearns wasn't on the roster. So I don't know if he was kicked out of school or maybe he could have been just done with school, because I think Twilight would have thought it a very laughable.
I don't know, that sounds like a solid senior prank.
Yeah, it does. Well, John Stearns he was 17, so he still had a few more years to go before he was a senior here.
But how old did this place go?
They go from 12 to 21. They took you to 2 years of college.
Okay.
I think Twilight was a child genius. He was brilliant, fluent in Greek and Latin.
Can I touch this?
No, it's off balance, but it is for static electricity. There was a piece missing, and it would go here, maybe spring-loaded here, wool, some sort of material, and clamp here, and you spin this. But yeah, if it goes too fast, it'll scrape.
Why does it?
Yeah. And it creates static. Well, it creates static electricity, right? It would be collected through the fork in this cylinder. And if there was some sort of an inert gas, dry gas down in here, it would flash light. But he would also have the kids put their hand here, and he would spin it, and especially with the boys, because they had loose hair, their hair would stand up straight. Also, he would have them make a chain of people holding hands, and he would spin this. And the very last person got the shock. And what he was showing them is what this girl said. What he was showing them is that how electricity travels and what good conductors of electricity the human body is. So
There's a video of me somewhere when I was like 9 at the Museum of Science in Boston, and they had something like that where it wasn't quite as manual, but and my hair started sticking up everywhere.
you can do it with a balloon. You rub a balloon on your sweater and they go like this. It's like, yeah, it's just fun. And this is
Was this just for teaching purposes? Or
just for
was it-
teaching purposes, yeah.
Because I could imagine it being used to generate electricity, but also that would take a lot of arm power.
Yeah, you had to stand there, yeah. No, it was just for his, part of his physics program, yeah.
And the girls learned that too. You said the girls learned science.
I think they did, because one girl mentioned it, so.
Wow.
She was either peeking through the keyhole or watching it, so I truly believe he did allow them.
That's
But
amazing.
I can't prove it
Right.
for 100%, so.
Still amazing.
That is folk art. If you're interested in folk art, there's a fur-bearing trout on the wall. It's also called a beaver fish.
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry. So these were
All rooms for the girls.
Oh, they're no, they were
All boarding rooms, yeah.
And did the girls carve into the doors?
Yeah, they carved everything
Jeez.
into the doors and the walls. And
Just like the boys.
they were just as bad.
Hmm.
And like I said, at times the boys were living on the same floor.
Oh, okay.
And
A
that's,
co-ed.
this is the rest of, I know. I think this is Thomas Reynolds. But I can't, I'm just going by the lost of
I love the military regalia. What do you think? Ribbons and patches and helmets and hats and epaulets. Good Lord, can you imagine epaulets like that? Like, yeah, talk about weighing you
who
down.
wrote Charles Webb.
And the uniform too.
That's the rest of that Jocelyn that was downstairs. This is the rest of his things.
It's amazing.
Yeah. They're in mint condition.
It's this hat with the
Yeah,
plume on
that's
top.
his parade dress helmet.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Imagine the epaulets would also be the dress uniform.
Yep.
My dad would love this place.
And then the certificates on the wall, they're signed by presidents.
Oh, wow.
There's one signed by Teddy Roosevelt, one by McKinley. The other two, we can't read the signature and we can't read the date. They've faded so bad. So
Oh.
we've got to copy them and darken it to see if we can pull the date at least. So we can find out which president signed them.
Tell me if I'm blocking your camera.
No, you're fine. But thank you for that.
But yeah, he was quite the guy. He was part of the relocation of the American Indian into separate reservations and stuff like that. And he was doing what he was told to do.
Was he contemporaneous with what was it, Howard, General O. Howard?
Not that I know of, but I don't know everything about him. I wish I did. God forbid. No.
What the heck? I'm so disappointed now. Do you know where the nails come from on the board?
And that's a medical room, and that's your tool room, and the next one on the left is Westmore. While you're looking, if you have questions, just ask me. I'll just let you hear what this organ sounds like. I do not play well, but I can make it sound good, okay?
Well, yeah, I can play piano, but not organ.
I
So
won't play any honk. Well, if you can play the piano, you can play this organ.
it's got a lot of pedals, though, doesn't it?
It's just two pedals. And it runs totally on air, of course. I pull out.
I should do well with that. I have a lot of hot air.
I pull out all these stops because it sounds better. That's where you get. I'm pulling out all the stops just from playing the organ. But yeah, I don't play very well, so.
Get your leg work.
The
Yeah.
higher you go, it's your shins.
May I look through the book?
But well, this is my second year piano book. This thing here, but yeah, you can look at that. So, but it sounds like it's really a good piece. It's just my second
We're
year.
gonna have to run. We still have a ways to go.
Okay. Well, right across the street, there's a restaurant
Thank
in
you
that
so
building.
much.
You're very
Yeah, I
welcome.
wish we had a little more time.
Well, when you go back to California, tell California I said hello.
I will.
Yeah, I lived there 32
I
years
know,
down
that's
there.
what you said. Gosh,
32 years.
talk about night and day. Huh?
I know, but I'm back home.
Oh, I bet you're glad.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, anyway.
What is
I
this?
love my state, but Barstow not so much.
No, not so much, no. That's a dead body. You're welcome. That's a dead body transport basket.
Okay. Oh, I've seen those in
If the body died upstairs and they couldn't get, because a lot of the staircases are so narrow and steep, they could hoist this up through the upstairs window, put that body in there, and then hoist it back down. It was just easier because they'd been here a while, kind of stiff. Sometimes, I don't mean to sound horrible, but yeah, if you couldn't get them down the stairs, yeah, they could do it that way.
We'll say it again.
Yeah,
The darndest things in museums.
I know.
Just never know.
You don't know is right.
Look at that scale. Wow.
No, that's not. It's just these loose pages.
When is this from?
I don't know. Let's see if it's old ones.
Look at that scale. Isn't that beautiful? Wow.
Pages down.
Utilitarian and beautiful. Ooh, what's this? Horsehair invalid's chair, circa 1875, with adjustable positions made in New England. Looks like a wheelchair. And you see those itty bitty wheels down there,
Copyright.
which catch and gouge the floors.
Edited and it's a
Desk.
totally new edition, Yeah.
So I was gonna say some of these seem like they were written more recently than others.
I can't even remember it. I mean,
Well, I'm pretty sure Yankee Doodle was. I don't know about the tune, but the old chant.
it was from the Civil War. Yeah.
They were making fun of him.
Yeah. They were. And I'll let you hear this while you're milling around. This is a 1920, so it's not that old, it's 1924. So we do have a couple 20th century items in here for kids who don't know what a CD player is. And they're out there.
Well, they certainly don't know a record player.
No, so they sure as heck don't know what a record player is.
Actually, a lot of kids don't know what a CD player is, but do know what a record player is
Yeah,
because
because
it's become vintage.
It's because that was right. That was
Oh,
right. I
I
still
feel
have my
older
three
now.
Beatles. Yep.
I want to hear it again. I want to hear it again. The old piano open. Whistling not enough right. What's sweetie and me? Wishing on the little niggas sweet harmony.
Louder,
When we hear it kitty beat and we hear the kitty blink. We unfold the